Hello again, I'm Bob Weir with another interview of People in the News in North Texas. My special guest today is my nephew, Chris Weir, who recently returned from a 26-mile marathon in Antarctica. Thanks for being here, Chris.
Yeah.
Please begin by telling our viewers how you found out about this tremendous challenge and why you decided to take it on.
Well, for me, it was something that I had heard about through somebody who had done it before. It was about, I'd say, 2 years ago, and as soon as I heard about it, I knew I wanted to do it.
Is there something you wanted to do?
It was instantaneous. I knew it immediately. I have a tendency to be drawn to things that maybe other people wouldn't do. And so it fit that perfectly.
Well, you're right. Most people wouldn't go to Antarctica to do a marathon.
Well, after doing it, I will tell you they should.
I'll bet
they should.
I'll bet, yeah. Tell us about running in the icy warehouse in Dallas when you began to condition yourself.
Oh, my training. The thing you learn about when you actually go do the event is that the training is so secondary to the actual event itself. What we saw, the people we met, superseded the event, but you don't know that going in.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was almost nothing adventurous about being there.
Really?
The adventure was not knowing what you were signing up for. So the training in the freezer, was a thought process that I need to make sure my gear is going to work.
Right.
But in the end, the run was so hard that your body temperature was so high that you wore virtually nothing anyway.
Really? And you could still sweat?
You sweat no matter what because you're working so hard. At times it was like running in sand because it wasn't cold enough for the ground to be hard.
Like it was a little slush?
It was soft. It was icy and crunchy in parts and soft in others, so it was like it was circles. We ran in the 4 circles, so at some point you're always running against the wind, but you never had a good footing. Yeah. That's what made it such hard work, and the training was worthless, pointless.
Now, you've run several marathons before, but
yes.
not in those type of conditions. But you've run 4 in the Dallas Marathon and 1 in New Orleans, I understand?
Yes, yeah.
And these are all 26.2-mile marathons, so they're significant.
Yeah, I started to do the marathons. It's a way, again, of doing something that I thought other people didn't. But when you see 20,000 other people running in all various fitness levels, you quickly realize it's not that unique. And,
sure.
and of course, having now been to Antarctica and met the other 60 some odd contestants and all the people that were down there working the event, you found out in that pool you were not unique either.
Really?
Because you met such amazing people that were taking solo journeys from there several hundred miles by themselves, pulling a sled to the South Pole. And you said, oh, wait, I thought I was unique. No, that person is unique.
Yeah.
You met a medic. We met a medic who had spent time in Afghanistan, in the Afghanistan war, and saw some amazing and challenging things. And he was there to make sure that we were taken care of. So the camp itself and the medical facilities and the people, we couldn't say enough.
So you had to start out in Chile first. You flew to Chile, and then you spent the night there, and then you had to fly in a private plane over to Antarctica.
Yes, it was an overnight flight to Santiago, Chile, with a 3-hour layover, and then a 3.5-4 hour flight down south to Punta Arenas. It is the closest, shortest distance anywhere on the globe to get to Antarctica. So that's one of the reasons it's a common place for people to go to get to Antarctica. Right. So, and then it was a Russian cargo plane, a private Russian cargo plane that took just the 60 of us down to run the event.
There were 60 runners? Really?
There were 55 to 60 runners. I don't have the exact total. Some of the people on the plane, of course, were there to operate the event.
Right.
But
okay. I think we're 55, according to what I saw in the website. But anyway, if you came in at what number 22?
I was 22 out of the group, and again, what you learn is it's really irrelevant how long it took you to run it.
Really?
People were finishing in 4 hours, 5 hours, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13 hours.
Oh.
And we were excited for every person.
Just being able to finish.
We everyone got out of the of our warm situation to come out and be there when the last person finished. The second, it was a woman from Minnesota, Annie, and her husband Ray were unbelievable. She is blind. And her husband was tethered to her and doing the whole event with her. Unfortunately, she was injured after the first 6 miles, and so a group of us went to visit her after we got done at the hospital room.
And there were people who walked the whole distance.
The ground was so difficult, so challenging that yes, there were people who walked it, and they were all.
Did you have
all
people,
levels of fitness?
So were the people who said when they heard about this, Chris, are you crazy? Why do you want to go fly to Antarctica to run? I know your Aunt Matilda did. She
Yeah, Aunt Matilda, hi Aunt Matilda, yeah.
She said, what's wrong with him? Why does he want to do that?
Well, Bob, I'll tell you, can I call you Bob?
Absolutely.
I'll call you Bob. All right, so there was never anybody in the middle on the fence about it. People either thought it was going to be an amazing adventure or maybe question your intelligence for signing up for such a thing. It was expensive, but it was worth every penny of it to meet the people from all over the world and have friends. And
how many times are you going to do that in your life? Exactly. I mean, that's the adventure. The thing about it is exciting is that you're in a very, very select few people that would or could do something like that.
well, and there's one more that I have to do. It's calling. It's calling. I have to do it.
At Mount Everest.
No, not Everest.
No.
Everest is off the list because you actually have to be an accomplished climber to do that.
All right.
So, but having been to the bottom of the world, we're close to the South Pole. The North Pole Marathon exists, and from what I understand, it's quite a bit more challenging than the South Pole.
It's more challenging. Well, then I might try it.
Well, you should. Come on.
I think I anticipated.
It's April of 2020. You get to start getting some.
I got time to get in shape.
Start injecting stem cells everywhere. Let's get going.
Well, yesterday I ran for 5 minutes. So, I mean, you know. And by the way, you said before you came here today you ran.
I did run. I found after that run in Antarctica, every run now is so much easier. It's easier. I'm faster. It's like I'm floating along the concrete, and you know, I don't go out for a run. People often want to know how far did you run, how fast did you run. And it doesn't, none of that matters. How far you ran, how fast you run, it doesn't matter. When I go for a run, I may go for, today I wanted to go out for an hour.
Yeah. Right.
So depending on how well I slept, how well I ate, how hydrated I am, that hour might result in 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, or 8 miles.
But running is like a drug in some ways. You get the endorphins come out of you, you know, and you feel like a high. Because I used to do a lot of running. You probably know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I used to do some long distance running. What is that medal you have in there? I noticed something in your jacket.
I don't like to show off. I don't like to brag or show off, but I haven't yet taken my medal off.
Ah.
That's the Antarctic Ice Marathon medal. You know, after running several events and marathons and others and triathlons, you end up with a collection of these. But I'll say I've never had to work so hard. And the toughest part of being in Antarctica was the weather.
Yeah.
And made everything more challenging. The weather makes all the decisions for you when you're going to Antarctica. We had to go in a day early to beat the bad weather. And then when we got done with the marathon, we were stranded there for 3 extra nights because the weather had turned bad in South America.
Yeah.
So while we were eating and drinking like kings at our campsite, everyone was worried about us because of the bad weather, but the bad weather was in South America, not in Antarctica.
So you couldn't get there. All right. Wow. Yeah, we were concerned when I heard that you weren't going to be coming back on time.
Well, that's the
also.
adventurous part about it, is just sort of not knowing, which is foreign. It's foreign to so many of us.
Well, I know I'm getting the high sign, so we're at the
Hey-ho,
at
wrap
the
it up.
end of the day. I'll have to drink to that. So I just want to say congratulations, Chris. This was quite an epic adventure for you to go
Yeah.
on, and you did very well in it. You come out 22 out of 55. That's pretty good. Thanks.
Well,
for the
thank you.
interview.
Thanks, Bob.
And-
Thanks for
and,
promoting the whole thing for me. It was nice of you to do that.
Thanks for coming for the interview, and thank you for watching.